Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God, this is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Gators got that Rama Jamma. Ooh. Ah. Sing it with me. Gators got that Rama Jamma. Ooh. Ah. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, I hate to do it, but
I know. I was just
it's a champion is a champion.
I know that you got ties to the U. Big Searcy's got ties to the U. I was expecting maybe a proud alum maybe to jump in there. Anyway, it's.
I have a great anecdote about that.
Well,
by the way. Okay? I have a really good anecdote about that. So
I had to wear this shirt to bring balance to the universe.
you did.
Yeah, but
So I got a call like 12:20 last night. Okay,
Right.
My buddy lives in Chicago. He's like, "You must just be over the moon right now, man." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. Actually.
what are you talking about?
Right. So he's like, "What are you talking about? Your university just won the national championship. How are you not pumped by that?" And then I look at online. I see Carline's crazy dance with his dog.
Yeah.
And, And then I come to the realization, Joe, have I robbed myself of joy over the years?
You might have.
Yeah,
you might
yeah,
have.
bro.
Is it possible that because I've tried so hard to be unbiased that I've robbed myself of joy?
I think there are certain ones that suffer from that because you like, in other words, you go like we do. Here comes the judge. You got to raise your right hand. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth,
Right.
nothing but the that you. Whenever you went to the journalism school, you said, "I swear to be unbiased."
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you got
strikes, man.
Every once in a while, you got to release the hounds.
You don't even cover basketball.
Yeah, you
Just
can
let
be a
it
fan.
fly.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Just let it fly.
You know what you like? You like that? You ever seen the Grinch Stole Christmas? You know they show the picture of his heart.
Are you telling them the death of joy?
No, I'm
Is that
just
what you're
saying you are. You got to go to Whoville.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that Matt is the guy that's going to take the opposite position of the majority, and then he moves from there.
Yeah.
Have I
did
done that
enjoy-
to myself, Joe?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
You might have.
Yeah.
And look, journalism will do that to you, okay? And it's so funny because you also try and rope off the ones who, the kind of the supposed journalist.
Right.
The
I don't want
ones
to be
who,
known as like the fanboy.
Yeah, operate in
But
the
I got to
arena.
be honest with you, that was impressive last night what they did. They literally beat Houston at their own game.
Yeah. All right, so let's set it up that way. Let's get into it. Big Searcy bought us lunch, and it wasn't even a bet. So a round of applause because he does it all the time.
Celebratory, you know. I mean, listen, I love orange and blue to the death. I don't have love for
That
orange
kind
and
of,
blue.
that's what I felt.
It just means that the Gators and Canes can coexist. You
That's
know?
right.
So
Both basketball schools.
A championship is a
It is.
championship,
It
right,
is.
Leon? You
Much
have to give
respect.
them their due.
Much respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, and we'll go over it. And you guys that were watching it, especially if you are a Gator fan, and you were just really watching the first half, wondering if your basketball team was going to be able to deliver, but then knowing in the back of your mind that this is kind of how it's gone down the line in tournament play, that they've been able to come back out of the half. Like Todd Golden's like the king of halftime adjustments is basically what he's turned into because they turn the wick up.
Timeout adjustments.
Yeah.
He made some unreal calls out of timeouts.
He really did. And so you guys, especially if you're Gator fans, relive it with us, 641-1010.
Well, where do you watch it, Joe? what was your story?
well,
I mean, you're number one Gator on the show.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I went back and forth between sunset to start and then the second half, which is the most important at home.
So you changing locales actually won the
crazy.
Natty.
Did you get home in time?
Oh, yeah, I live right around the corner.
Okay.
It's genius.
Congratulations to you.
That's why I built that house right there. Be right around the corner from Sunset Grill. But Captain Ron and all the boys, they were all fired up. And it's so funny because I was trying to gauge people. How are they going to play this? What are they looking for? Do they want to watch it together? Do they want to watch it alone? All that type of stuff. But go back to Saturday, TLD went downstairs from the sports lounge, and they went on that 9-0 run.
You made her stay down there.
That was it. She's not coming back.
I almost ran around
She's
again.
still down there.
I almost ran around again. And
Hey, when you're on a heater, you're on a heater.
right.
Man.
So we had to do the change of venue again this
Right.
go around, which was smart. The overall plan worked effectively. But it's so funny. And Matt, just say what you tweeted as far as what Florida has done.
So since 2000, the Florida basketball team has won 3 national titles, has played in 4 national championship games, has had 5 Final Four appearances and 9 Elite Eights since 2000. So in 25 years, that's
Blue blood.
a basketball school is what that is.
And we started out March Madness, and we were talking about the idea, Leon, of the new brand of blue bloods and the killing of Cinderella when we came out of that first weekend. And then when we got to the Final Four, a head coach was going to win his very first national title, even though these programs all look like they had been installed as some of, obviously Duke is Duke. They don't need any description next to their name. But the other ones, Florida, when you add up what they have done in the 21st century, that does scream a little blue blood.
It is.
And then think of what Houston has done over time. They have been to a number of Final Fours, but they haven't cut down the nets.
Well, I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with some new blue blood. I mean, Florida, for what you just said, for the last 25 years, what they've done, y'all got to be in the category, in the conversation, especially the way this team was assembled. I mean, it was essentially assembled through the NIL.
And zero-star recruits.
Exactly.
So three guards are all transfers and all 3 zero-star recruits.
That's even more impressive with the fact that these kids that you're bringing in, that's coaching. I don't care what you say. That's coaching. When you got zero-star recruits and you got them in a situation where they're winning games, they're going to tournaments and Final Fours and winning championships, man, you got to get gold and all this props. Absolutely.
And it's funny because I love the question JJ posed yesterday. It might have been JJ or Leon trying to remember the, what is Billy Napier thinking? And Napier was brought into a football school to save the day, to get them to where they needed to go. Scott Strickland took a huge swing when he made the decision to go get Billy Napier after what had happened with Dan Mullen. Mullen was a good coach, and then he just basically decided to retire on the job. And so Napier was supposed to come and restore football pride to that university. Meanwhile, everyone said whoever has to follow Billy Donovan, good luck with that, because no one's going to do what he's done at a non-basketball school. Well, Mike White was there for a while, had one run to the Elite Eight, and then kind of got run out of town. And Todd Golden, in 3 short years, has brought a title back to Hogtown. It really is crazy.
And here's another thing. I don't think there's any doubt that it's turned up the wick on Billy Napier.
It has
I don't think there's any doubt now.
Right.
No.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about him.
Somebody wins like that.
It didn't start on a good note, which probably brought everybody together on that team. With
the allegations.
The allegations and all that. Athletes, and Leon could attest to this. When there's some adversity, the really good athletes kind of
galvanize
get together.
Yeah, we take that approach, especially when you attack our coach. It's kind of like us against the world, and that kind of stuff. If anything, it strengthens the bond between you and your players and the coach, because now you wanna rectify or the allegations by winning ball games. That's the best way to do it. You win ball games, stuff goes away.
So I have a great question. And then why didn't this franchise rally around Doug Peterson, the players in that locker room?
Because the ice cream. Soft serve.
That is basically the answer.
SOF serve.
Yes.
That is basically the answer, because I think when we saw what happened in 2022 here in Duval, we did think they rallied around the guy who had the plan.
I think that was a little bit of the Mullen effect.
It might have been.
To be honest with you.
It might have been. That's a good way to put it.
I think there was some extenuaning circumstances with things going on, and
like the next thing you know,
I think he kind of said no mas.
Well, like the way I'm reading what you're saying is the next thing you know, you're coaching from a lazy boy because you've kicked back and relaxed just a little bit.
Yep, got a new grandchild and got this stuff going on. I've been around for a long time, wasn't getting exactly the results that he thought he was, and I think that might be a factor. I hate to say that because I would hate to think that, but you
never know when people relax. Really,
you also got to remember the character of kid that you have as well. That's very important. The character of kid.
True.
If you got a selfless kid, a kid that's not selfish, he understands that you win as a group, you win as a team. But then you got some kids who think about how they're going to be portrayed or what kind of likes they're going to get. So you got to make sure you got the quality character and kid.
Because what you're saying is kind of what happened with this Gator basketball
Absolutely.
team, that no one necessarily needed the spotlight, craved the spotlight, demanded the spotlight. At least it didn't seem to be. Todd Golden and every player was pretty dang consistent with this, that they're all in this together. And Walt Clayton was a perfect example last night.
He said it.
Yeah. After the game, he said, they picked me up. And this has been the way it's been all season long.
Yeah, Richmond
Yeah, Will Richard.
Richard one day.
Yeah.
Conlon
Elijah
another
Martin.
day.
Yeah.
Martin, yeah.
How about the guy you like is
Hawk.
the little guard.
Oh, Aberdeen.
Aberdeen. He comes in, makes
He's a
3 or
spark
4
plug, man.
plays
He's
that
gonna be a
were
good player next
critical in
year.
the game.
He starts playing 30 minutes next year. He's a good player.
He's got one more year left, and this is going to be the new question that's going to become a permanent question: who stays and who goes? Can you keep this together? Because in your football world, at Miami, how many national championships were you a part of?
3.
So when you won one, you expected another, and why? Because everyone was coming back, or at least, or a new crop of goods were coming in. In basketball, it changes.
I don't think any of those guys are leaving. I think Conlon stays. I think Hawk stays. The other 3, obviously, the 3 guards have no eligibility left.
Right.
Aberdeen stays. He's not
Elijah.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think the rest of the team stays. I think.
Right.
But it cost Larinaga, the University of Miami head coach, his job because he said, no mas, because the whole team left after
Right.
a Final Four
Right.
appearance.
Right. Now Conlon will probably go to the camp, but he can pull his name out too.
Yeah. Is it Indiana right now does not have a player?
Yeah, right. The whole
Yeah,
group.
the entire
do not have
roster.
a player.
I love college sports.
It's unbelievable.
Right now. It's so pathetic.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Indiana, okay? It's
Kansas has 8 spots.
Yeah.
The bluest of blue.
8 spots.
Blood.
Yeah.
See what
They
happens when everybody can pay, not just the one team that cheats.
Yeah. True.
But it's
I
so
guess.
funny. Now let's just bring this up real quick because this is working.
you, right?
Yeah.
I did.
But this is working
You might be right, though.
in college basketball. In other words, it's inviting new opportunities
Sure.
in. Okay. Is it 100% working in college football? Well, at least it has its challenges because the bigs are still going to be the biggest of spenders. And the Alabamas were used to getting what they wanted, and they didn't necessarily maybe have the biggest of spenders that were going to support them and bring them along.
Alabama's not unlike Kansas, actually. Very similar.
Yeah.
Now that everybody can pay above board,
You catch
a
up.
little bit different. Yeah,
Right.
Well, not only that, I mean, I think it has worked in college football. The Big Ten's won the last 2 national titles.
Yeah, it has. I guess it has.
They hadn't won one since 2014.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they went back-to-back years.
Yeah.
That is pretty good. So, but is that strictly from a spend point of view?
I think it is. Yeah, I mean
think Jim Harbaugh-
that Michigan offensive line was almost entirely transfers.
Okay, I'm trying to remember that because I know that they had a lot. They had 13 that went off into the NFL, and a lot of them were pretty prized recruits.
Their good rush end was from Coastal Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
Cat that blew up Latham on the 4th and goal play against Alabama.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess you'd have to remind me of those, but I'm just thinking it was decent recruiting classes, not great, but decent recruiting classes, a great coach.
Top 10,
in Jim
top 12,
Harbaugh.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, but the other blue blood that has one up there is Ohio State, and they're there every
Right.
year.
And they recruit.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they don't win last year if they don't add Judkins, if they don't add Caleb Downs, if they don't add the center from Alabama.
They went and poached.
Right? You're not. If they don't add Will Howard.
They poached and stroked some checks
Yeah,
is what they did.
If they don't get into the portal and add those players in this new era, they don't win the national title.
It's crazy. It really is. All right. So we're going to talk about the national championship from last night. We're going to get into our Searcy's Sweet 16 with his mythical national championship as it presses on with the 2012 Crimson Tide against the 95 Huskers. So we'll get into that coming up. But you guys are more than welcome. Jump in, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You got the first day of your Jaguars off season. So we're going to get into that. What was that like for you, Leon, when you walk back in a building after some time off? We'll get into that coming up. It is XL Primetime.
Wonder what Rick Ballou would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
So you had a fight with a game show host on national TV. I don't consider that entertainment.
Rick Ballou.
This is not hockey.
Weeknights on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, Don from Taco Lou here. Spring has sprung, the temps are rising, and the summer is on the way. In our world, that can only mean one thing. Cinco is coming. Yes, today everyone gets their taco fix and margarita fix. It could possibly be the best Monday of the year this year. If you're sitting at your desk on a Monday thinking no tacos for me, well, think again. We wouldn't let a big day like Cinco de Mayo slip by just because it's a Monday. Skip work or get the day off. But come and celebrate with us at Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach. Maybe take Tuesday off. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. John's Middle School Athletic Association. Tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Visit sjmsaa.com. sjmsaa.com.
Ah, summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Draft season is here, and so is Mia's Mock Draft Mondays. And this year, we're powered by One Night Taco Stand. Each week, I'll unveil a new set of possible targets for the big cats on the 1010XL social channels and 1010XL.com. Let's talk about it on 1010XL.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Surf in the Summer Surf Camp is now registering for camps this summer. Get your kids out to the beach this summer. For registration and session dates, log on to surfinthesummer.com. Surf in the Summer, Jacksonville Beach's premier surf camp.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner. You'll get 25% off all cleaning services. That's right, 25% off Check out 8,000 raving customer reviews if you don't believe me online. Call them, 904-287-5727, or visit their website, ZeroResJacksonville.com. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So I feel like XL Primetime cashed a big ticket on Hard Rock last night, because I feel like if I look down the line, it's me, it's Coach, it's Matt, it's Searcy, JJ, and it's Tim. And we're all together, okay? And I feel like Tim may not fully realize this, JJ's good friend, but we got him that victory.
We willed it.
And I feel like either he needs to take us all to Hard Rock on like a one weekend spin spree or something.
He's already promised me and my wife a double date with his wife at dinner next time I get to Ocala.
Okay, all right, that counts then.
Yeah.
I was thinking that or
We'll live
lunch or
vicariously
something.
through you,
Yeah,
Jay.
he needs to send us
Mesa
lunch.
Denote, my favorite spot.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
He needs to send us lunch. So tell everybody he just cashed last night on the Hard Rock.
Yeah, so if you don't know, if you haven't been listening the last couple weeks, he basically had like a $50 bet to win $16,500, and it was Ohio State to win the Natty, the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, and of course, last night, his beloved Gators to win the national championship. He decided not to hedge the entire time. I thought he was crazy, but I'm the one who looks like a fool. And I woke up today, though, to a text from him at like 9 in the morning that was like, Hard Rock's trying to mess with me, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And I realized it wasn't Hard Rock, it was the federal government.
Oh.
So this is what they sent him. For online gambling, any win that is over $600 and the winnings are at least 300 times the bet, so, bet 50, win 26, then you have to get the taxes automatically withheld and get a W-2G in the mail for your tax year of 2025.
Savages.
Unbelievable.
So Tim's winnings are helping pay for who knows God. God only knows.
Yeah, the Doge will be all over
I
it.
hope.
All right, so I heard this other one. Wait a minute, you had one last night.
I had one last night. Yeah, I had my first time Hard Rock bet. 10. I took 10. I took Houston with the lead, the under, and the Gators win. 10 got me 320.
And this was Houston with the lead at the half, right?
Lead at the half.
Yeah.
The under, which was 141.5, and then Florida to win.
Which is a crazy smart bet because, Florida is always a second half team.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be trailing at the half all these games.
10 got me 320.
Amazing bet. And this is not good news. I'm going to let you know, Leon, you might think it's good news because you won.
Yeah.
But your first bet being a big win like that, you're in trouble, bro.
He already said he was.
You are in trouble.
He just said he's hooked.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hooked, because I won, but I'm going to have the parameters. $50 is the most I'm going to bet.
Be
Okay,
governed.
good.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
be
going to govern
governed.
myself. Yes, absolutely.
Just don't bet the
guys,
$50 20 times.
Guys, that's a lot of lunches
Yeah.
for the
That
group.
is.
True.
That is.
That's 300.
All right. So I'm
And if he
listening.
keeps winning, it's more lunches, right?
I'm listening to some of my degenerate gambling advice last night on a pod before we went out, and check this one out, okay? Because this goes right down the same line, JJ, that your buddy Tim had. But this was another guy at Hard Rock on a $5 bet. Took Tennessee to win the College World Series, the Dodgers to win the World Series. Then he went down the same road with Ohio State and Philadelphia.
Whoa.
To college football playoff and the Super Bowl.
And obviously, this was all before the College World Series.
Yes, this is all the way back in April or May of last year, okay? So he did a $5 bet May of last year, and his fifth leg was one of the teams to win a national championship in college basketball. The odds were plus 33,000.
Wow.
He was going to make 160-some thousand off a $5 bet. His fifth leg was Duke.
Oh,
Are you serious?
My God. A killer.
Yeah.
Well, he could have hedged. He could have, and once the Final Four came around, he could have bet big money on all the three remaining teams.
The other
I
half
hope
of
he
this,
did.
though, the other half is that he did get the proposition like Tim got from Hard Rock.
Oh, to cash out.
And he cashed at 22 GER.
Woo!
So
Smart man.
Yeah, at least got out before. And like, wow.
And the way Duke blew that too, like, oh my God, that feeling. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I do not know how you would handle that. That's for sure.
$5.
Yeah. All right.
So before we end this Hard Rock segment, the Oracle has spoken.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
His newest future bet, he just sent the group chat this morning, is Bryson DeChambeau to win this weekend at the Masters, of course, and then the Lakers to beat the Celtics in the NBA Finals. So that would be a $50 bet to cash out at $26,350.
Whoa!
So be cheering for Bryson this weekend, folks.
Yeah, I watched. He. We know what he did last year when he won a major. He can get it together. That's for sure. He was over par the other day, so we'll see how he ends up doing. But yeah, that's not a bad one. That's for sure. By the way, on that note, we're going to make our Masters picks, coach included, tomorrow. Okay, it's in the 10, in the 25, and then outside wild card. So a top 10 player in the world, top 25 player in the world, and then anyone you want outside of that. And we'll throw all of our picks in. Another delicious lunch being served.
Who composed
compliments
that?
of whomever.
Who composed this music? Any idea?
A
genius.
It's so
God,
good.
as far as I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
This is
God.
straight from heaven.
Pretty sure.
I hope Jim Nance is fully recovered by Thursday from his L last night.
He's got to be hurting. So let's stay on that just for one hot second. How bad was it? Let me just give you these numbers, guys. Let's make this the 10-10 take real quick because this is what Florida has been the entire season.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Sonny's, they make sure they are ready for you when you are in a hurry. They smoke it slow and they serve it fast. They don't have to wait to the second half to catch up, okay? They start strong. Make sure you drop on by any one of your area Sonny's. But on that note, the second half storm back that Florida put on Houston last night, we'll leave Kelvin Sampson shaking his head and asking that very basic question at the end of this game. How the hell could you not get a shot off? Any shot. He was just mystified that his players could not get that shot. But listen to these numbers, guys. This is the last 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Florida outscored Houston 35-21. 14 more points in basically the last 16 minutes of play. Florida, 9 for 20 shooting. Houston was 7 for 25. Turnovers. Florida had just 1. And remember, that was a problem in the first half. Houston had 6 turnovers down the stretch. Florida, 15 of 19 at the charity stripe. Houston only got there 8 times, only made 5. 14 fouls from Houston, 4 from Florida. That, honestly, is the recipe for them to just calm down, take control of the game, take advantage of opportunities at the free throw line and everything. They got it done.
Listen, on the group chat that we did last night, when Florida was down by 10, I text Matt and said, hey, Florida's going to win this game because Houston had the lead. And they're jacking up threes. They're playing street ball. Yeah. They're not getting the ball into the post. They're not giving the big man a chance to score points or anything like that. I said, man, all Florida needs to do is settle down.
Yeah.
And then they made their run. But I saw it. It was a premonition. I don't know.
I like how you think.
Hey, I mean,
for real.
I mean,
you got to believe.
With
I'm sure people who were doing the live bet that.
Dude, with 14 minutes ago, they were down, I think, 8 or 9, and Houston was already in the bonus.
Yeah.
14 minutes to go. Yeah. With 8 minutes to go, Houston was in the double.
Well, Jay Will this morning on Get Up just went nuts over the amount of fouls that were called in the first half versus the amount of fouls that were called in the second half. And you certainly can have a gripe and a bee and a moan about it, but they were fouls. And I can't imagine.
And if anything, it hurt Florida much more than it hurt Houston.
Yeah. It got Condon in trouble, that's for sure. And
it put Houston in the bonus with 14 minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah, you're right.
In the double bonus with 8 minutes to go.
Very early. But in the end,
so it's on Houston for not taking the ball to the basket and drawing contact.
That's what Leon's talking
what they should have been done at the 14 mark. They should have been going right at the basket every time.
I didn't understand that. When they weren't doing that, when they were jacking threes and airballing threes and all these unlofty shots, I said, listen, all Florida has to do is play the defense, settle down, get into their offense, and then they're going to come back and win the game. I saw it. because when you got a lead like that, you get the ball to the post. Let the man make a move, either score points or go to the line.
And they were good down there.
Yes, they were good down there.
Players down there.
Yeah. All right, I've got a little perfecto that we will do coming up. This is a challenge, okay? This is a big one. We'll always have a little fun with it. But on the text line, Designed by Lifetime Enclosures, whoever composed the Masters music should compose the SEC on ABC Music, because that one is terrible.
Yeah, they need a shakeup this year.
Yeah. All right, it's XL Primetime. We're talking about what happened last night. How big was that win for Florida? How much pressure does that put on the other guy coaching in Gainesville named Billy Napier? We'll get into all that coming up on XL Primetime.
Serving Jacksonville since 2007 and proud to do it.
You guys must have some seriously cool stories to tell.
1010XL, your hometown station.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 8, 1974, on opening day in Atlanta, Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron hits his 715th career home run, breaking Babe Ruth's legendary record.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration. Broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Do you know someone looking for a fun and rewarding summer job? Join the YMCA team, gain valuable experience, and make a difference in kids' lives. Turn your passion for this community into a fulfilling career at the First Coast YMCA. Now hiring camp counselors, lifeguards, childcare leaders, and membership experience team. Every single person on the dedicated YMCA staff plays a role in making the Y a welcoming and vital resource for our community. Find your career at the Y at fcymca.org.
Equal opportunity employer.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket, own the dream.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
There's 363 Division I teams that start the year, 68 that start this tournament. All right, you guys just won. Well, how many won in a row now? 13? It's a lot. We've been doing it. It's a lot. But every time, it doesn't matter how. We could outscore people. We get to a hundo. Tonight, we had to do it a different way. All right, we played an incredibly tough, gritty, great program. We had to win an ugly game. Well, we just did. Nobody can ever take that away from us. Each and every one of you guys are national champions.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That was golden, and it was golden. That's for sure. The way he coaches, he has that little intensity DNA or gene to him.
No, it's called cockiness. And I'll tell you, if I was playing against him, I'd want to beat his butt.
Yeah.
He is a darn
You gotta love it,
coach. I'll tell you that.
It's so funny because we were talking about it, and he is Spurrier-esque in that way.
Yeah,
is that he makes you want to not just beat him.
Yeah, you just want to beat him to death. I'm serious. Yeah. I mean, but hey,
you sound a little jelly there.
Be. No, I love it.
A little bit jealous.
I love it.
But that's the competitor. Is that
I love it. I love it.
Maybe he'll be the next Kansas coach.
That's John Gruden.
Mm-hmm.
He's John Gruden.
Right. Maybe if you're lucky, he'll take the Kansas job next. How about that?
Yeah, I'd be all right with that.
So what Florida has done, let's just fire up the ukulele. Let's just get that good mood going.
Perfecto!
Oh, yeah, a little perfecto. This is not an easy one. This is more of an exercise as opposed to getting the question right, but I figured it was worth it. One of our texters sent it in yesterday. So from the Atlantic to the Pacific, you can enjoy a delicious Mexican lager found in Baja, imported by surfers for those who live life anchors up. First school ever with 3 national titles in football and in basketball.
Mm-hmm. Very impressive.
It really is.
I thought it was the first one with 3 and 2, like even before last night.
So as I'm looking at this, and I'm hoping I have this right, Gators is attempting to make history as the only school with 3 championships in football and basketball.
That's correct.
So I have a list that the texter sent in of football titles and basketball titles, and I'm looking, and there are just a ton of them that have won at least one of each. Okay, so let's just start rattling these off, if you don't mind.
One of each?
One of each.
Wow. Ohio State, I'm sure.
Okay, Ohio State has a total of 8.
Michigan.
Actually, I should say more than that.
Football,
Ohio
yeah.
State has 9.
But I think they only have 1 basketball, right?
Just 1 basketball.
Michigan has a basketball and a football.
They took it away, though.
Michigan State has a basketball and a football.
All right, hang on.
Michigan State won in football. Interesting.
Yeah, 66 and 67.
So you have
Okay.
Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
So we can ding both of them. Michigan, even though, like we said, there was
Minnesota.
Old school.
What year are we talking about?
Go ahead and ding it because it's in there.
No, it's not. It's not Minnesota.
Really?
No.
Never tell me to ding before I get the
All right, sorry.
Exactly.
approval.
Are you sure about that? You know I'm going to check. You know I'm going to circle back on that, right?
Hey, Matt, Google, you do whatever you need to do, buddy. But listen, I'm good. This is straight texter. I love this. He gave me the graphic and everything.
Oh, this is Texas.
What about Texas?
What about Navy?
I'm not seeing either one of them.
Florida State.
Nope. Florida State made it to the
How many more are
game,
there?
but didn't win. All right, so right now
UCLA.
you have Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State.
Has UCLA won in football?
I don't. Maybe
right.
like a long time ago.
There's
UCLA?
another ding.
Oh, okay.
The Bruins back in 1954.
Okay.
How about USC?
No.
All right.
I will tell you, just as far as clues go,
Arkansas.
Archie, there's another one.
I'll get this
Archie won them
eventually.
30 years apart. 1964 in football, 1994.
How many more do you need?
With that 94 feet of hell. So right now, I see one. I'm including the Gators, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you have gotten. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. That's
Four
a big
more.
That's a big bunch. This
What
is
about
one that-
Virginia?
That is one at least
They
one
win
of
in
each.
football.
Never.
No.
Never.
Nebraska?
Nope.
Oh,
All right.
Auburn?
Georgia Tech.
Auburn. No, Auburn
Nope.
hasn't won a basketball
Nope.
title. No.
All right, so let's just whittle it down here.
All right.
I'm just going to yell out.
Colorado?
Nope. You have one from the Pac-12.
One from the current Pac-12 or former Pac-12?
Well,
Well, there's only 2 teams
Yeah,
now,
just
so
me saying-
probably 4.
Just me
No,
saying
there's
Pac-
actually like 10, believe it
Yeah,
or
just
not.
me saying Pac-12 alone means it had to go
All
back.
right, so
Is it Washington?
Because now they're a member.
Arizona?
Huh?
Arizona?
No, now they're a member of the ACC.
Oh, so it's got to be Stanford or Cal.
Yeah, Stanford in 26 and 40 won football.
Oh, how can you forget either one of those?
And then in 42 won a basketball one. There's one that is also.
What about Notre Dame?
Nope.
He said Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
no.
you said Notre Dame.
No, one that's been part of the ACC for a while.
Dang, ACC's running this.
One that's been part of the ACC for a while?
North Carolina
North
State.
Carolina?
Nope.
It's not North Carolina State.
Nope.
Georgia Tech?
Nope. I'm saying been ACC for a while.
Syracuse.
Yeah, there you go. Big East.
Football?
1959,
Jim Brown,
they
maybe?
won football. 2003, they won basketball. And then the last one, I might as well just blurt it out.
Wait, give us a hint.
It's also been in 2 different conferences.
Interesting. So are we talking like Big 12 and American or something like that?
Well, I'm just saying they've been in 2 different conferences.
That's everybody now.
Oklahoma?
Missouri?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Not
Stevie
Oklahoma.
Francis.
Maryland.
Maryland.
Oh,
There you go.
Maryland won a football national title?
All the way back in 1953. Look, some of these may have been given out by Smith's Grocery. I have no idea, but
So the Gators are the only school with 2 basketball and 3 football,
Yeah.
even before you last night, right?
Yeah, because the only other decorated one on the basketball side that had more than 2 is UCLA, and they only have one football
Yeah.
championship. Anyway, pretty dang cool.
Did you guys see the celebrations in Gainesville? Off the charts
Oh, yeah.
last night, so-
Really?
including one young college student who fell after climbing a street light. And I was concerned, and they were wheeling him out, the ambulance people. But then he did a gator chomp with his arms while he was on the gurney. So he's good.
Grit and toughness.
Yeah,
right
he's
there.
got 2 torn ACLs.
But he can
did the
still do
chomp.
that.
He's got a dub, though.
Yeah, he's got
he
a
does.
He's got
Flags
the
fly
dub.
forever.
He'll be in the cast for next year.
And a story can be told
Hell
forever.
yeah.
The story's everything, too. Yeah.
Congrats to our texters who were able to nail texting in with Maryland, with Syracuse, with
That's a Maryland
Arkansas.
grad. That's a Syracuse
Yeah,
grad.
And congrats to our texters who were sending in all their winning bets from last segment. Congrats, guys.
Good on y'all.
Love that.
I did not know this, and this is something else. Again, we trust everything on the text line. It does not have to be Google verified. Dave Loggins composed the Masters theme.
It's Kenny's brother, yeah.
Third cousin of Kenny Loggins.
He's a cousin.
That's what he said.
Wow.
Again, I trust him. Whatever he says goes with me.
Wait a minute. I heard harps in that music.
Wait, so what does that make third? How's it? What is a third cousin?
Good question.
It's a little detailed. It's a straight family tree sometimes when you get to the third cousin.
I love that. By the way, I love how we all looked at Joe for this answer. What's the third cousin,
I
Joe?
do love when, like even TLD had to teach me that I couldn't introduce her cousin as my cousin.
Oh.
Okay? Because I thought that was allowed.
Isn't that what it is when you get married? Isn't
In the
like kind
South,
of like
I thought it was
osmosis there?
Yeah, I thought it was allowed in the South. And, this is my cousin Richie, but no, that's not
So
allowed.
the third cousin would be like a brother's.
So here's how it goes. Okay, at the top, I'm going to use the Ponce family.
All right.
Okay, so the Ponces had Gertrude, Iva, and Al-Marie.
Okay.
Okay, and then when they broke off.
Your aunts, by the way.
Yeah, exact. Great aunts. Whenever they got married,
Right.
then you would have a son or daughter that
Right.
would also have another next generation
Another
of
son and
kids.
daughter, yeah.
And then that would become the
That was
third
the third
cousin.
cousin.
Yeah.
It's just 2 generations away.
Yeah, basically.
So there's no like fork in the road or anything.
Oh,
It's
there still might be a fork in the road. That's always possible. Okay, might be. I tried to date Margot Manussi back in the day, and they said she's our cousin, and I'm like, well,
she's still hot.
First off, okay. First off,
I'll tell you what.
I don't know that I believe Margot Manussi. That's a made up name.
Leon was my idol. I think Joe is moving in there right now.
Anyone who's listening from the AUG can verify.
I was about to say, I'm from Ocala. I got so many cousin dating stories that I know, bro. It's
anyone
sad.
can verify Manussi in the city of St. Augustine.
By the way,
that's like hardcore Paisan.
No, that's Margot Manussi. That's like straight Menorcan. That's
Menorcan?
Oh, yeah.
So I fact-checked our texter. He is correct. The song is called Augusta, and it was written...
Does any of this have anything to do with the Jaguars?
No, and that's the best part about this show.
Yeah.
We just go off on tangents.
It was written and recorded by Dave Loggins in 1981, and it has a full set of lyrics. I will spare you and not read them.
Thank you.
Give us like the first stanza.
Please.
Well, it's springtime in the valley on Magnolia Lane. It's the Augusta National and the master of the game. You'll wear the green coat on Sunday afternoon? Who will wear the green coat on Sunday afternoon? Who will walk the 18th fairway singing this tune? Augusta, your dogwoods and pines, they play on my mind like a song.
Like
Augusta, it's you that I love.
That does have Loggins sound to it.
That
is good.
That's soft rock.
That's so good.
I can't wait for Thursday.
Yeah.
Me neither.
All right, so a couple off the texters, from the texters. I'm hearing banjo music. Legal.
That was
legal
kind of
to
my
marry.
point, but I didn't want to say it. So.
Legal to marry your third cousin. Would have worked if his name was Vinny. A third cousin is your cousin's grandchild. This is nothing but good information for us. All right, Coach. So before you go, because he definitely wants to talk some Jaguars.
Right, we wanted to get into the Jaguars. Right?
There you go. Thank you.
No, I don't care if we get in on the Jaguars. This is the best show I've been on.
I love the information that is being provided.
There are those in the text line that are wondering, if you and Margot actually had a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, she was Dreamboat. Okay, I'm just telling you that.
Blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
I like the brunette.
Yeah, like him, like their family.
And you didn't walk up and go, "Hey, Dreamboat," not you, Shipwreck. No, it wasn't like that. Just nothing but a Dreamboat.
She wasn't a Two-Face. Is that what you're saying?
No. All right. So, Coach, before you go, first day of the brand new coaching staff coming in, welcoming the Trevor Lawrences of the world back into the building. What is it like as you get off-season workouts rolling?
Well, it's really exciting, especially for a new staff and the new players. I think, the newness of the whole thing gives it a little added energy or push, and especially with this young group we've got going. I'm sure they couldn't wait to get them in. And the players, all of a sudden there's new hope in the building. So,
fresh.
To me, So to me, it's an exciting time, and it's a chance to really start to build that culture or trust or whatever you want to call it.
We did our Campo and Joe podcast earlier, Leon, and I asked Coach, because honestly, with a brand new coaching staff, they almost kind of like, I feel like they got to hit the ground running with their message to the player as soon as the player walks into the building. In other words, players walking into something brand new. So what is that like? I know you haven't been exposed to it.
Well, I mean, me as a player, the offseason is always too short. All right. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that bells and whistles when I'm coming into camp. All right. But it is a new coaching staff.
Yeah.
All right. And he's putting everybody on edge, which means that guys that essentially are starters are now competing for their jobs. Guys that are on the fence worry about getting cut. So it's always important that you show up on time because with a new coaching staff. So it's an exciting time. I mean, if you give a damn about football, the way you went out last year, 4-13, you want to get back to work. I mean, I was never in a situation like that, but I can only imagine if you're 4-13, your vacation time is over. It's time to get back to work.
So if it's a new coach, does he go in and it's kind of like a massage situation where you don't want to offend anybody, or do you go in and go full on Reggie Ham in 48 hours?
No, you hit him with the sledgehammer.
Yeah,
you let him know
you got to go in and let him.
You got to come in there with the belt. I mean,
is that what you did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You got to come in with the idea that, hey, this is we're going to get this done. It's time to get going.
You got to be firm on what
on who
you're
you
going,
are.
Yeah, you got to be firm. And that team meeting is so important.
Yep.
That team meeting, you got to be firm. And
First one.
Let everybody know what's the expectations
right.
of this team. Be on time, be here, work, grind, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff should be said in the first team meeting.
And then
how many 4-letter words did you say in your first team meeting with the Cowboys?
It's not like that.
That's for the individual meetings.
Yeah.
That's what you tell your
assistant coaches.
Yeah, assistant coaches. Yeah.
And you've used it on your assistants already.
Yeah. But you certainly lay down the law then.
Yeah. What you do is you really come in with here's who we need to be about, and here's what we're going to do to get there. That's it. And it's things haven't worked. We got to make it work.
So it's not feelings and ice cream and stuff like that.
No, it's definitely not ice cream.
Coach, there's another thing. I mean, because this team fell short so badly in the fourth quarter, conditioning is always a question when it comes to this team, because this team faltered when you needed them the most. So the offseason is there to prepare you for that kind of stuff, not only physically but mentally. So you've got to attack both those volumes,
right?
Because this team in the fourth quarter seemed like they have the legs, and then the aptitude in the fourth quarter is the reason why they lost the ball. So those type of things you got to address in the offseason.
And Coach said something about the weight room. That is where you can meet, because you can't get on the grass right now. It's just in teaching rooms and all that. But that's where the competition.
And you got to make sure the weight room is not a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You got to make sure guys ain't at the watering at the water cooler talking about what their off season. You got to stay on them. Mm-hmm. That's the job of your weightlifting coach. Right. Make sure, because some weight rooms meet and greet. Guys talking, sitting around. We ain't have phones back then, but I can imagine on their phone, texting, checks. Nah, leave all that stuff in your locker room. You come in here, it's time to grind.
So, now this is a question, kind of a looking back at. So it's kind of maybe not be fair, but could the possibility of feelings and ice cream, that's just temporary, did that eventually erode what he had, you think? Erode what happened in 2022, the good in 2022? Do you think, once you have that, once you establish yourself in there as these guys need to heal, we're going to give them ice cream. They know that's the foundation, right?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the head coach is the voice. Whatever he puts forth is what starts the whole thing.
Right.
And to me, I think that what you start with, you end up finishing, but you have to be adaptable. For example, I think Tom Coughlin is one of the greatest coaches of all time, because he was able to start and then halfway through figured out, I need to change just a little bit to get the job done based on the people.
Because he was a tyrant.
That's adaptation. That's one of the things that determines whether or not you're a leader or not.
Right.
Can you adapt?
And Coughlin had to figure that out. He didn't have that in his DNA right away.
But they helped him figure it out.
You better believe it.
Yeah, I mean, once he realized we had a team, you got to remember when we started off 3-6, we lost a lot of games by one possession. Just like this Jaguars team now.
Here.
We didn't really get blown out. We just lost by one possession games. Right. And then once Tom realized the talent pool that he had on his roster, he pulled away. But Tom was the type of person where he had a bone, and he kept his hand on the bone. Yeah. He said, "I'm gonna give you this bone."
He's like a rabid dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna lighten up. I'm gonna lighten up. But if you start losing again, I'm going right back to that. So we had purpose to win games because we wanted that bone.
Oh heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Good stuff. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah,
we will see you on Friday. You're making your Masters picks tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know you're excited.
He'll be in the lab.
He's definitely you're Googling this stuff.
I'm excited about it.
Here's the question. I mean, we know who won the actual TPC.
We know who I lost, but we don't know who actually won.
I
had like three. I had two in the top.
I had a guy who finished second overall.
I know, but I think I had second and 5 or something like that.
God.
And you had Hovland.
It's okay, bro.
I'll win.
Leon, you had Hovland, I think.
Didn't he make the cut?
I was going to say before I left, I don't know anything about golf, but I promise you I'm not going to be buying lunch.
You're like laying down the law.
He's a daredevil. He is, man. He is. All right, we head into the 3
We've
o'clock
created
hour.
a monster, by the way. You know that.
Oh, I know. I love him. All right, don't forget Campo and Joe. We did crank one out earlier today. We definitely drilled down on the actual offseason, so you guys can look for that for some Jaguar, kind of get you going for what's happening with the Liam era right here in Duval.
Florida Gators.
Congratulations, Gators!
Saluting right over left. This is the flagship station of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Mia here. I've got a question for you. Have you ever wondered why buy from Arlington Toyota? I'll tell you why. How about over 800 vehicles in one location? Or how about this reason why? 60-day exchange. That's 60 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. You even get Arlington's lifetime warranty with your new Toyota purchase. Why buy from Arlington? Because right now you can get financing as low as 0% on select new models. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local woman-owned solar company. Did you hear? JEA is raising rates again. With summer right around the corner, those power bills are only going to go up. But with solar, you can take control of energy costs and say goodbye to rising rates. At Clay Solar, we make switching easy and affordable. Stop paying more for power and own it. Visit claysolar.com to schedule a consultation today.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors to get the job done right, Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit Coastal Equipment for a demo today.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
It's the Gator Podcast Channel with Frank Frangie and me, Dan Hicken, on all things Gators. Hacker and Denny Thompson have Gator Bites, and you can find them wherever you find podcasts or at 1010XL.com. Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services. Call 904-862-6769.
Enjoy a great day of golf and support Eagles View Academy Athletics. Friday, May 2nd at the newly renovated Bent Creek Golf Course. 8:30 shotgun start, best ball format. Find out more at EVAWarriorsathletics.com.
Prosser here. Spring has sprung, and it's a great time to sell your house, but only if you have the very best on your side, and those very best are Chad and Sandy Newman. Spring selling season's here. Rates are down. Activity's up. It's the best time in years to sell your home, in fact, but there are homes sitting on the market. They don't have the right representation. That's where Chad and Sandy step in. Maybe you're worried your home needs repairs or updating and it won't sell for a good price. Maybe your family's growing and you need more space. Whatever the reason that you need to sell your home, Chad and Sandy deliver this promise to you. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Sounds pretty hassle-free to me. Take it from Mike and Rosemary in St. Augustine. We were determined to buy an affordable home in a specific school zone, but we didn't qualify for the loan needed to get one. Chad and Sandy's team worked with the lender, negotiated a higher qualification price, lower interest. It was huge, $200 less per month. Do it today. Call 414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers, boy. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know, that carb curve we've all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Gone. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need it. So when the server brings that bread of basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nope, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo's on his way, and you can lose whatever you want. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely, and a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call, 844-346-1800. Go online, awaken180weightloss.com.
The magical basketball ride continues for Gators fans this weekend, and now you can remember all 34 Gators wins with a full-size Season to Remember basketball for only $149.95, featuring scores of every game along with embossed logos, championship history, and more on panels of the ball. Order now. Get one of only 5,000 licensed balls. Call 800-345-2868, 800-345-2868, or visit nikcosports.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Lone Pronto. The Florida Gators are your 2025 men's basketball national champions, thanks to a razor-thin 65-63 win over the Houston Cougars in the NCAA Tournament Championship. However, the sports media has already started looking ahead to next season, including ESPN's Jeff Borzello, who published his way too early rankings for the 2025-26 campaign shortly after the final horn sounded. Fans of the orange and blue will be very disappointed with his assessment as he placed UF at number 19 to start things off. In the third and final matchup of the season between two in-state rivals, number 9 Florida State baseball will face the Florida Gators tonight at 7 p.m. You can catch all the action right here on your home of the Gators, 10:10 a.m. Right now, 72 degrees at 3:03. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm alright. Nobody but about me.
Play action, McCarron. Deep left side, got a man open. Got the touchdown of Murray Cooper.
Frazier heading more numbers, more yards to those big. Oh, they don't have him yet. Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break? Touchdown.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, we saw reality last night when the Florida Gators cut down the Nets for the third time in their basketball history to go with 3 national titles in football. So now let's move into the magical, mythical world of the Searcy Sweet 16. As you just heard, highlights from 2012 with the Alabama Crimson Tide, the A.J. McCarron-led Tide against the Tommy Frazier-led Nebraska Huskers back in 1995. That is one of your major matchups.
It's like a first-round game. It's not even fair. This should be the national championship game.
It's crazy.
Look at Matt, just all over my Sweet 16. I haven't even started yet.
Yeah, exactly. Now we already have one.
These are two really
These are heavyweights, bro. Listen, these are two sledgehammers swinging.
Yeah, it is not.
Yeah,
it's not easy to get through the bracket.
It's not
faint of heart.
16.
Man, these are the best of the best, bro. In my opinion.
All right.
Yeah. So okay, in the crimson and white corner, we got the 2012 Alabama Crimson Tide Roll Tide, 13-1 SEC national champions. Where do they play? Bryant-Denny Stadium. Where is it at? Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
T-Town.
Head coach Nick Saban, offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier, defensive coordinator Kirby Smart.
Ever heard of him before?
Ever heard of him? Yeah. They run a pro-style offense, 3-4 defense, all right? Now, here's their schedule on their way to winning the national championship in 2012. They beat number 8 Michigan. Remember that game? It was a neutral site.
Yeah.
Annihilated them.
Yeah, that was
destroyed.
Jerry's World.
The bounce house. Well, I call the boss. Then they beat number 11 Mississippi State. They beat number 5 LSU. And then a couple of weeks later, which I proclaimed the best college football game I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
A little prisoner of the moment. They played Texas A&M and Johnny Manziel.
Manziel.
Yes, he was something special in that game. 29-24 upset.
One-man show.
He was. Absolutely. I fell in love with him back then. Then they beat Georgia, number 3 Georgia in the SEC championship game. And then in the national championship game, they beat number 1, fake number 1, Notre Dame in the championship game, 42.
Who I believe was undefeated.
They
That's
were
why
undefeated in that game, and they lost that game. They got destroyed.
They got smoked.
They did get smoked. And if you look at some of the stars of that team on 2012, A.J. McCarron, 2,900 yards passing, 68% completion rate, 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Ed Lacy and T.J. Yeldon combined for 2,400 yards, 6 yards a carry, and 29 touchdowns.
Eddie Lacy was a grown man.
He was a grown man. Absolutely grown man.
And T.J. Yeldon, future high draft pick for your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Was he second round?
Second round and did not get a second contract.
Blown draft.
He was. Amari Cooper had 11 touchdowns during that season. The offense averaged 40 rushes a game, over 200 yards, and the defense only gave up 250 and only 76 yards rushing per game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Alabama Crimson Tide. Formidable opponent now.
Oh, you better believe it.
Very formidable. I mean, both these could have been number 1 seeds. But then we get to 1995 in the red and white corner, Nebraska Cornhuskers, which, by the way, Paul Feinbaugh and Mark Mays said the greatest college football team they had ever seen. Ever.
Matt, are you in that camp? I think you might be in that camp.
I think you guys are very, if you've followed this tournament in the last 2 weeks, I think it's very clear that I think Nebraska.
That's what Mark May and Paul Feinbaum.
But I have this strange feeling that 2001 Miami's going to win this thing, but we'll deal with that later. Go ahead.
Well, it's based off science and fact.
It is. Thank you.
There's no emotion involved
whatsoever.
Searcy subcommittee will vote on that later.
Yes, absolutely. Nebraska Cornhuskers, 1995. Some consider the greatest college football pro team of all time. 12-0 national champions. Play at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Head coach Tom Osborne. Here's their schedule through their undefeated season. They beat Kansas State, number 8 Kansas State, number 7 Colorado, number 10 Kansas. I put this in there. They beat their rival Oklahoma that season 37-0.
Whoa.
Okay.
Their average margin of victory, if I may interrupt, Big Sirs.
Oh, 53.2.
No, average margin of victory over each team was 34-8, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. And then
34.8.
And then the national championship game, man, we all know what the score is.
Yeah.
Let's not ruin the Gators' good time.
I'm not going to spit on your shine. I'm not going to spit on your shine. I'm not going to say the score.
This
Absolutely. But the Cornhuskers, they scored 638 points during that season. That's 53.2 points per game.
Whoa.
And they only allowed 174 points, which is 14.5 per game.
And they ran the ball.
Yeah,
in that 1995 roster, 27 players went to the NFL. 27.
Okay, compared to
gracious.
If you had 27, all right, I'm just looking here.
I gotta be. I mean, that's an unbelievable Nebraska team, but Alabama might be able to upset them.
Was that the best Alabama team?
I think it was his best
in
team.
that era.
Some people say 2020 was the best.
Okay,
team.
so you had. You already mentioned AJ. You had in the backfield Lacy. You had Yeldon. You had Kenyon Drake, who also was the third guy.
Their offensive line was Barrett Jones at left tackle, DJ Fluker at right tackle. They had Chance Warmack was left guard, and Anthony Steen was the right guard. I mean, they had a legit NFL offensive line on that team. Remember, that was when Manti Te'o said before the national championship game, Alabama came walking out, and Fluker and Chance Warmack threw up the deuces. And he said he turned around and looked at, because they're just these giant men.
Right.
He turned around and looked at his teammates, and they all had like their bug eyes, like we're in big trouble, man.
You better believe it. Amari Cooper on that team, 1,000 yards, 16.9 yards per catch average. You had on the defensive side of the ball certainly a lot of class.
C.J. Mosley, Jesse Williams was a great college player. Damian Square, D. Milner, they had some really good players in that team.
Yeah, highly drafted, those cats. Okay.
Now, do you dock points knowing what, or seeing what Johnny Manziel did, and then now think about what Frazier could do?
True. Let me just say,
Frazier wasn't like dropping back to pass and going, like his runs were more option runs.
And it was force and might coming from the Huskers as opposed to Manziel with the shake show.
By the way, Vinny Cincinnati, the Gators' new DC, starting safety on that tie team.
Oh, okay.
Just FYI.
That's interesting. Nice little tie.
If that sways you in any way in that game, Leon.
Listen,
he had to learn something from winning as much as he did. We'll find out. All right, so you guys start thinking about that. 641-1010. It's the Mythical Natty with the Searcy Sweet 16, and this is one of the major first-round games, 2012 Alabama against 1995 Nebraska. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. What other?
Here's the thing. I went through the simulation where I put both teams in a simulation and went online, and it gave me some variables. And this is by no way is going to sway my, who I decide. But it said this. The 2012 Alabama team, known for its strong defense and national championship pedigree, will likely have the advantage through the 1995 Nebraska teams.
Wow.
Offensive prowess and dominant play style could pose a challenge.
Let's prison the moment.
So it doesn't give you a score.
It doesn't give me a score.
Oh,
What's the score right now? We're in the first quarter already, aren't we?
No, I'll give you a halftime score.
All right.
When we come back.
All right. We're going to do that coming up. All right. So you guys think about it. Listen, I love it. I love it. Way back when we were begging for a national championship, an actual one that we would record games and create play-by-play.
Right.
We had so much fun doing it. So this is kind of taking me back in time.
That's back like when the BCS was like one game.
Yeah,
it was it. Now it was like 11 games.
Yeah.
Or will be 11 games.
It's the best. You do need to bring up here in 1 second as we talk about football and basketball. In the same vein, we'll stay on the mythical. But you have at least a little bit of a mythical idea, Matt, with what college football can do, taking a page from March Madness. So we'll do a little bit of that coming up on XL Primetime.
If real life were sports, radio would be like 1010XL.
I like this kind of party.
Because sports are more fun than real life. There's 1010XL.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Huh? I I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reese Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
The Masters is coming to 1010XL
At Augusta.
And Fantasy Golf on 1010XL returns. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beards Diamonds. Teed up by Pella Windows and Doors. Go to 1010XL.com now.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 50% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Best Bet is number one. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, you have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits. You have the right to choose your own doctor, too. And I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation, the auto accident experts.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas, build a protective barrier around your yard, and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those suckers ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprowski at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaprowskis are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprowski are the answer. Craig.Kaprowski at Goosehead.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
National championship is in the balance. 13 seconds left. Florida leads it by 2. Uzan gonna go. Uzan, give it up. Cryer, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Sharp. He walked. He can't touch it. He can't. 1 second. And it's over. Florida is back on top of the college basketball world. Championship madness. It's a great day to be a Gator. They win the national title.
What a way to end that game last night. Florida coming back from 12 down, trailing by as many as 14, and being able to deliver another national championship to the University of Florida. Meanwhile, Houston at the end of the game, they didn't have an answer. They kept turning the ball over, and in the end, the ball was in the hands of a guy that they wanted to be able to take that last-second shot, and he lost the handle on it and couldn't touch it because it was going to be an up and down. And then 3, 4.
Well, he didn't lose the handle. If he'd have shot the ball, it would have been blocked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying he stopped because he
knew the ball was going to be blocked.
He had it up and down. And so there were 3 seconds that went by. At the very least, I would have just shot it, had him call, and then let them go to the free throw line. At least give me something of a chance. Anyway,
shot and get the turnover. You're right. In 3 seconds to go, they still got to inbound the ball. Yeah, all that.
Why didn't they show enough urgency there to
It was
You got to give yourself time to be able to get the rebound too if you miss.
Yeah,
like for them to let the clock go all the way down is so stupid.
Yeah, it was nuts. But Florida lit it up last night. American Electrical, they can light up your world, that's for sure, especially if you are an electrician looking to begin a career with someone that will take you all the way to the finish line. Look at American-Electrical.com. They are hiring, and, of course, residential and commercial. They can take care of all of your electrical needs.
But to be fair to Florida, they played great defense on that last play. They closed out.
Yeah, they did.
All around the perimeter, they closed out
And
three different times.
You know it's legal to tie, right? I mean, I don't understand why they were trying to shoot the three when they throughout the whole game. I mean, even when they had the 10 to 12 point lead, they tried nothing inside. They shooting jumpers, air balls, all that kind of stuff.
And Roberts was a big bruiser, and Pulp Fiction, I like to call him. That guy was just scary. Okay, Tabor, he's just scary. But they had 2 or 3 guys that were physical inside. Francis wasn't physical, but certainly a size guy. He ends up fouling out. But they didn't. Well, he had that one thunder dunk early, and they really didn't try and work it back inside to him. And Roberts is a big man.
Yeah, he's a big man. I don't understand that, especially when they had the lead. When they could have slowed it down, played that little half court, dump it inside. At worst, if he doesn't score, he goes to the foul line.
Or you get the rebound.
Or you get the rebound.
The best team at. Like
Houston.
It's odd that Texas Tech worked Florida inside, Auburn worked Florida inside, and Houston basically avoided it.
And they shot 24% from 3 last night. Yikes.
They were the best shooting team in the country. Right?
And both of these teams can.
But again, that's Florida defense too. You got to give the Florida defense credit too.
Ton of it. And their bigs defensively played well inside.
Yeah.
Alex Condon needed to man up, and he did for the most part. Now he got in foul trouble
early, but he started playing well.
Yeah, he made, and then the Houck block on the 3 was just massive, and then the quick transition from Walt back to him for the
N1.
Yeah, the make and the foul. There were just a lot of those types of moments. And for Walter Clayton Jr. to go through the entire first half without a point, without a bucket, without a field goal made, and then and what he was doing, in some respects, drawing attention and then delivering assists.
Yeah, he had 7 assists in the first half.
Well, it's so funny because going into the Final Four, one of my buddies is like, I love Walt 2.5 assist over.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of that. He draws attention. He didn't hit the number. Did not. And then comes in this game when they really try and take stuff away.
I thought you were saying this game.
Here.
Yeah.
So, Joe, how do you rank this team? As far as the 3 champions, where do they rank right now?
Well, I still feel like the combination of what you had with the 04s, with the 06-07 championship, they're just going to stay at the top for a long time. It's going to be real hard to dethrone them.
Because of the back-to-back?
Because of the back-to-back, because it was all 4 of them. And I should say
you probably had more fun watching this team.
This was fun. I told Hayes Carline yesterday that people need to appreciate not just this year but last year. These 2 years, extremely fun. But I think the difference, Leon, is like what we're talking about when you were at Miami. Players were just coming through there, all of them putting in their time to be part of the greatness. They didn't come and go. You follow me, right?
Yeah.
Whereas today's world is a come and go world.
Yeah.
So you can't. I like the fact that Clayton stuck around for 2 years. Will Richard was there for basically his entire time, and then in comes Elijah Martin.
Right.
In comes Condon. Hanlockton comes back from the injury. That was good.
Well, I mean, our time at Miami was like this. I mean, when the team that won in 1987, you didn't feel a part of the family. It was like The Godfather. You didn't feel a part of the family unless you got one. Because 87, I rode the coattails of the Michael Irvins, the Benny Blaze, because I was a freshman. And then you didn't feel you couldn't sit at the table until you were a part of winning the championship. So that's the way. That's the way we approached it.
I actually think this team would beat that team. Would beat the 04s.
It would be.
I just think they have more guys that can create shots than the 04s have.
I came away as this season unfolded, and even though that well ran a little dry through a couple of ball games in the tournament where they didn't have enough guys making threes because Will Richard wasn't necessarily connecting the way he should have. And then all of a sudden they caught fire with that again last night, which they desperately needed Will Richard to come up with a big game.
I mean, this team showed the entire year that nothing phased. They went on the road to Auburn without a starter and without Elijah Martin. Won by 9, should have won by 20.
Yeah. Here's what's so funny though: the team that they worked in the SEC tournament to win the championship was a team that worked them up in Knoxville.
Yeah.
Beat the H out of them up in Knoxville. And that was one of their more humbling moments. But they didn't suffer too many of those L's on the road. But it is kind of crazy that they could get handled like that. And they also beat the crap out of Tennessee and Gainesville.
Here's a good one. Houston lost 5 games all year. 3 of them were to Alabama, Auburn, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They were great. Something else.
And I think they were all by single digits.
Yeah, they were. They were all under double. Yeah.
Which, by the way, the Gators, one of their only losses was to Mike White this year.
Mm-hmm.
How ironic.
Yeah, it's so
this
funny.
Team.
Yeah.
Don't ever underestimate Mike White.
They're printing bumper stickers.
Even
up
though
there.
they did have a crazy comeback to even get back in that game.
Yeah, they came from what, 20-some down?
But yeah, I don't even remember. Was that the
down,
last
something like
game
that.
the Gators lost?
That's when they lost, yeah.
Wow.
That was in late February.
Yeah.
Probably should have won it, too.
Yeah, they came storming back. It was something. All right.
Halftime.
Not storming back, but where are we at with
halftime?
Alabama.
Is this going to give me odds right now?
Well, halftime right now, Alabama 24, Nebraska 10.
Wow.
Yes.
24 to 10?
24 to 10 halftime. Yes. You think a Nick Saban and a Kirby Smart defensive staff is worried about the triple option?
Did Tommy Frazier get hurt?
He didn't get hurt. He's been neutralized.
What about Christian Peter and Jared Thomas? Did they get hurt?
Sound like names to me.
Terrell Farley get hurt?
I just told you that Nick Saban and Kirby Smart put together a defensive scheme that has
10.
put pressure on
There's
them and forced
no
them
chance they're scoring 24 in that Nebraska defense.
Against the Alabama defense?
No
Well,
chance.
don't you think it's like no one runs that offense anymore because it has been neutralized at the elite level of college football? Like, wouldn't you admit that?
You're trying to tell me that Alabama's defense would not neutralize that triple option.
Like just nowadays, just in general, yeah.
Well, what the reason? Okay, so no one runs it. Yes, that's half true
at a high level.
The other half true is the spread that everybody runs is the option offense with a quarterback that can throw the ball.
Well,
it's just in the shotguns, all it is.
But just the fact that you finish the sentence is the most important part of it. Shotgun and a quarterback that can throw the ball.
Right.
Those are two really big elements.
Tommy wasn't bad in that year. They went 5 wide with Tommy every once in a while.
They weren't hardly at all. But you get what I'm saying.
All I know is but my point is if you recruit to that, which they did, and they had big NFL offensive linemen on that team. Yeah. And they had 2.
But going up against that Alabama front.
Not 1, 2 future elite. Well, Lawrence Taylor ended up going to jail. 2 future NFL elite running backs with Lawrence Taylor and Amon Green and Tommy Frazier.
I still say Alabama's. It's halftime, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm getting a little nervous right now.
Yeah, and it may be a McCarron mistake or something like that gives Nebraska a short field.
And McCarron, he takes care of the football. Only 3 interceptions.
He does.
Now when he's got Terrell Farley coming from the blind
you
side.
just said that the offensive line for Alabama had 3 NFL players on it.
I don't disagree.
So protection is not a problem. And then you got T.J. Yeldon and you got Lacey running
Jared
the ball.
Thomas was an All-Pro in the NFL. Christian Peter played in the NFL. Jason Peter played in the NFL.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
What's your point?
There's a lot of good players on that Nebraska team.
All right.
So I just think it would be hard to have any triple option team win nowadays with the speed of the defense.
Plus, Nebraska's playing with a fullback, too. The fullback, you got to love something about the fullback.
True.
Especially with the bar, the shoulder pad bar.
Handlebars.
The Tom
Yes. And they were the real handlebars, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like some kind of credit for that.
Well, that was a part of the triple option. The fullback dive.
So that got him to 10 points. Like without that, it would have been what, 3?
Man, tell you something. They didn't take care of the football. That's all. Look, I'm looking at the stats.
Oh, so there were turnovers.
Yeah, we just had the statistician drop our sheets off.
How many turnovers for Nebraska? Couple fumbles.
There it is. There's the stat sheet right there.
They've got 2.
Oh, like Leon just opened up a piece of paper and acted like there was 2
costly turnovers.
They must have been like short fields, like fumbled the ball at their own 12 or something.
Well, it could have been a 24-24
I love your narrative. But
had it not been for fumbles in the red zone.
I have a good feeling about the Huskers in the second half. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, we'll find out before the show is done. It is XL Primetime. Real quick, JJ, if you don't mind, and then we'll come back to what we were doing.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So timing is everything whenever you see something like this, but the Denver Nuggets have canned Mike Malone.
Great.
This happened a little while ago, but we're talking about a team that is not that far removed from winning the NBA title and not that far removed from the Joker going for 60 points and a triple-double, the most ever in NBA history. Bottom line is they bounced Mike Malone right out of it.
Oh, he did lose that game that Jokic did.
You're right. They went back and forth in that game. You're right.
It's shocking to me, even though they are on sort of like the last couple months they've been down. All season they haven't been, the Nuggets of the last couple years, but they haven't had Jamal Murray recently.
Yeah.
And there's only 5 games left in the season. They're still the number 4 seed. That's weird. I feel like something had to have happened off the court with ownership, right? Or
had to been some kind of
it's
competition.
crazy. Yeah. For 5, and you don't see Jokic as that superstar that would go to the GM and owner and be like, "I need a change." Like, he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah. They lost 4 straight.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's egos involved, JJ.
But like I said, they haven't been good lately. But with just this amount of time left in the season, who cares? And let's say you get bounced in the first round. Does that mean all of a sudden he's a bad coach? Like Joe said, he won 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's the truth. And you go to some of the other guys that have been bounced this year, and just think of the Budenholzers of the world and Nick Nurse and some of those other guys that have been around. Patience, it doesn't exist nearly as much now because you could have gotten through the season and evaluated a little bit. You could have just basically said, it's not in the cards.
The season ends on Sunday.
Yeah, well, let's finish.
What the heck? He didn't make it. He had 1 week.
And let's just see there had to have been a run-in.
Yeah, there's some kind of confrontation. There's definitely male ego involved. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. All right, it's XL Primetime.
Get a Gator baseball chomp on 1010XL.
Orange and blue, garnet and gold. Gators Seminoles. Tonight at 7 on 1010 a.m.
Hey Jacksonville, Don from Taco Lou here. Spring has sprung, the temps are rising, and the summer is on the way. In our world, that can only mean one thing. Cinco is coming. Yes, today everyone gets their taco fix and margarita fix. It could possibly be the best Monday of the year this year. If you're sitting at your desk on a Monday thinking no tacos for me, well, think again. We wouldn't let a big day like Cinco de Mayo slip by just because it's a Monday. Skip work or get the day off. But come and celebrate with us at Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach. Maybe take Tuesday off. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hicken here for Bow 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 8, 1974, on opening day in Atlanta, Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron hits his 715th career home run, breaking Babe Ruth's legendary record.
All right, gentlemen, we've trained for this. We've battled the elements. But if there's one thing we can't afford, it's letting the heat take us out before the big game.
But, Coach, the AC at my house is busted. I barely got any sleep last night.
Well, Johnson, you should have called Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. They're the real MVPs. Now let's cue the cool music.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
Parents, now is the time to sign your kids up for the best basketball league in the 904. Tommy Houlihan's Summer Beaches Basketball League. Season starts in June, and games will be played in the St. Paul's Gym. Go to TommyHoulihanBasketball.com for all the info.
Neck pain, back pain, or headache? Shinatri Chiropractic has 4 locations: Westside, 103rd, Riverside, Arlington, and the Beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
Tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters? You're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. Let's face it, your neighbor Steve still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jacks cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is after an offensive barrage in the second half, a total of 38 points scored in the last 2 quarters by both teams. The final score is Nebraska 38, Bama 34.
Oh, my.
Thank God. Order has been restored. Okay. Well done, Leon. Well done.
28 points in the second half against Kirby.
With that ground and pound.
You know what the 18-wheeler said? We're coming at you. Stop us.
Yeah, they
That's
did.
what happened.
Again, a couple of short field situations.
Right. Got Alabama that lead.
Yes, turnovers. Yes.
Yep.
So it was kind of a little
Story of the
fool's
game.
gold, was it not?
It was, absolutely.
Once Nebraska got its feet under it, you know.
Took a little minute.
Yeah.
Took a little while.
You should probably blame Yeldon. He had 3 terrible fumbles in that game.
Sure he did.
That I believe.
I mean, at least one, right?
In the red zone.
Yes, of course.
Plus, it's always good to see the SEC taking on the chin, right?
And at least as I understand it, towards the end of the game, he was sitting on the bench with his helmet off,
Laughing.
kind of yucking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with Leonard Fournette. That was also
true to form.
Unbelievable.
Was it him and Lenny? Am I getting
I
that
believe
right?
it was him.
Yes,
Yeah, it
yes,
was.
yes, it was.
It was. All right, my takeaway is you saved yourself, bro. That's my takeaway. You saved yourself because there was no way Nebraska was going out in the first round of that playoff. Or I might have even protested, actually.
That's fine. Committee would have ignored you.
My takeaway is congrats to the Florida basketball team. Just a phenomenal season. Considering how it all began, how Todd Golden's dealing with allegations that were not just like, throwaway allegations. You're talking about legit, scary allegations.
That entered a number of different arenas, including Title IX.
Yes. And it could have easily gotten sideways for that team. And they stuck together, and the allegations weren't proven to be true. And away they went. Mm-hmm. And they just kept playing and kept getting more galvanized as a team. They kept winning close games. They got in the tournament. Could have lost to UConn.
Yeah.
Could have lost to Texas Tech. Heck, could have lost to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Might should have lost to Houston. But guess what? Dub.
Yeah.
National title.
Resilience and everything, and it came from a lot of different areas. The depth of the team is as crucial as anything. The ability of multiple guys to make shots and the ability of multiple guys to be able to defend, that was all tremendous.
You know what it was, Leon? We talk about this all the time with football. That was want and will is what that was with that team.
Yeah.
That was pure will. Every one of those late, the last 3 games especially, Texas Tech, Auburn, and Houston, they wanted that game. The last 10 minutes of defense against Houston was remarkable. Remarkable what they did.
Want and will.
Good. It was a gut check, bro. It was a gut check. I've been on those sidelines where you can't be tired. You got to find. You got to dig it deep somewhere because listen, if you lose, you just go to the off season.
Right.
If you hurt, you know what I'm saying. You got to approach it that way. You got to give all you got, spend it. So coaches always talking about spend it. Just whatever you got, spend it.
Well,
don't take nothing with you.
The way Walt handled his lack of shot making. And then the pressure that Houston was running at him, and he just kind of went Luka on him a little bit with his quick outlet passes, just beautiful tosses to the other end of the court, timely, setting up Condon, setting up a handful of different guys that he was able to set up. And he just said, come on, keep bringing more guys at me, and I'll make sure that other guys score. And then at some point that shot will come.
I mean, I can't underscore this more. They were down 3 possessions, 14 minutes to go, and Houston was shooting 1-1 already.
Yeah.
Already.
Right.
Then it got to 8 minutes, and they were down 2 possessions, and Houston's shooting 2 every foul.
Mm-hmm.
That's a recipe typically to lose a game, especially when you've turned the ball over 13 times.
And
2 technicals.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. And Florida had not had a technical the entire season. Not a technical the entire season, which is hard to believe.
Those were 4 giveaway points is what those were.
Yeah.
In a game like that, they gave them 4 points.
Yeah, and the other thing is when you think of obviously shared responsibility, trusting in the guy next to you, all the stuff that they were able to do, I didn't think this was possible that Houston would feel like they had won something when they came back and beat Duke. Because you know how a younger, less experienced team can think they climbed to the mountain when they really haven't gotten to the top?
Sure.
I did not expect that team to do that. But think of what Houston did do. They held one team to 1 bucket for over 10 minutes, one of the more prolific scoring teams in Duke. And they came back from, 14 down.
Yeah.
And then had the upper hand by basically the same amount and couldn't hang on to it. Isn't that crazy? The tale of 2 second halves for that basketball team over a 48-hour period. It's nuts.
Yeah, I almost think the narrative after the game was, what a terrible ending. I wish we could have seen Houston get the shot off. And to me, that's literally minimizing what Florida did, the defense Florida played. Not only that play, but the last, like I said, 10 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So and everybody's upset that Kelvin Sampson didn't win his first national championship, and he would have won his 800th career game. It would have been his first national title.
Storybook stuff.
Would have been great stuff, yeah. But, I mean, to me, that minimizes how well Florida played in that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we'll just repeat what we said earlier. The texter's asking, would you say Todd's motivational halftime speeches also helped? Yeah. We pointed it out earlier, and then Matt mentioned the timeout decisions that he made. There's no question his halftime adjustments and getting in guys' ears and his assistants. We read what the one assistant said, that he goes, you challenged their manhood. He goes, that team is beating you up, and you know it, and they know it, and you're not doing anything about it. And so, yeah, everything that has come out of the half, they trailed by 9, by 7, and by 10. I'm pretty sure of the numbers.
Well,
and they've been able to. They were able to come.
Well,
back
you could just tell the change of temperament from the first half to the second half. In the first half, it was straight bully ball.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Houston was pushing Florida off the swing.
Yeah,
in the playground. That type of stuff. Everything they were doing, they were beating them to loose balls. They were pounding the glass. They were getting on any position they want, every shot, every tip in. And Florida was just kind of standing around. And then add on to that, they had 9 turnovers in the first half. I mean, Florida, quite frankly, was lucky to be down 3 at half.
Yeah, you couldn't help it. And I'm sure he pointed that out. As bad as we played, think about this. We're just a 3 away from tying this ball game. And when they were down 12, you're saying the same thing. You've seen them hit. When they hit the 4 threes going back to against Auburn, remember how quickly it changed.
None of that. Houston was in that locker room thinking, all right, we just clamped down on them. Their leading scorer hasn't scored a bucket.
Right.
We've turned them over almost 10 times. And then in the back of their head, they're thinking, how is this a 3-point game?
Yeah, exactly. Let's do our thing and we'll take care of it. But they're going like, dang, I always joke about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they keep looking up. Who are those guys? Because they just kept trailing them and they wouldn't leave them. You couldn't lose them. Who are those guys?
One of the best movies ever, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. But that's it. You've done everything you're supposed to do. You forced them into this, and this, and you're only up by 3 shots or by 3 points. Right. And so that definitely happened. Will Richard, another texter saying it, just what he was able to do, knocking the ball out on the second to last possession was huge. Yeah, he needed to have that type of game. And when Walt wasn't making the shots, Will Richard was able to. Might have forced 1 or 2 after that because he thought he was the hot hand of the night.
All right.
Didn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, you're trying to push up shots.
I mean, it's amazing. Think about that. The last 4 possessions for Houston, turnover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's great defense is what that is.
It really is. And in the end, you saw a team that at least had the resolve, the belief, and
the will, JoJo.
The one will,
yeah.
But also the execution, the know-how. The out of transition, get back, all those things that they were coached well to do, they were able to do it.
They just wanted it more.
Yeah.
You could just tell it towards the end they wanted it more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they saw the championship, they went and seized it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that not what sports is? Seriously,
it is.
At the end of the day,
you want it more. Who wants it more? What are you willing to spend to get it?
Right now, this texter's asking a question, and it occurred to me last night. It's worth bringing up. I watched Jim Nance watch this ball game from the stands, and I kind of missed him. And
Ian Eagle's kind of
well, the texter,
he's good.
the texter's like, I love Ian Eagle. I believe he's good at his job, but he's nowhere near as good of a narrator as Jim Nance. I wish he could have been the storyteller last night. And there's definitely something to that. That's who he is, and the way Ian finished, it was Al Michaelish.
A little flat.
Yeah, it was.
What
it was
Al Michaelish Jaguars Chargers game, wasn't it? Very similar.
What do you expect him to do with that last play? Was a clown show.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that was a joke.
Hey, you got to be ready for anything. If you're the play-by-play guy on the Final Four, you got to be ready for anything.
I'm just saying, you guys just said they went down 4 possessions and had 4 turnovers. But what's he supposed to do?
I don't know, but he did sound a little sad, is all I'm saying.
Whatever he's supposed to do, not what he did. How about that?
Yeah. He would say, what an unbelievable yada, yada, yada. They did what they had to do, all that type of stuff.
He just had it. He clearly had a line that he was using.
Yeah.
And then he was like shocked by what happened. And then, I got to put that line in. And then, boom, there comes the line.
Those last 4 or 5 seconds were hard to describe. They really were.
Yes.
Yeah, but I would have loved if he would have just went, what in the blue blazes is going on out there? That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. But it was
blue blazes.
Yeah. I never thought you'd see an up and down at the end of a ball game. And Kelvin Sampson sums it up as well as anybody.
Remember, we used to call it up and down, remember?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was up and down. But Kelvin Sampson said it as simple as anybody could have said it. You had to take a shot.
No matter
Any
what,
shot.
you have to, yeah.
Any shot.
Even if it gets blocked, maybe you get the deflection, something, yeah.
And he coached those guys hard. And like I said, I got a ton of respect for him. I thought that it might have been his time going into that game, the way they were able to come back against Duke. But yeah, you got to give them Florida just an unbelievable amount of credit for what they were able to do. That's for sure. Good stuff from them. The national championship in the hands of the Florida Gators, 3rd time in basketball history to go with their 3 football titles. All right, Leon, set us up for our next Searcy Sweet 16 matchup.
Championship. I mean, our match is going to be 2005 Texas versus 2010 Auburn.
Oh,
wow. VY against Cam?
Yep.
That is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
How are you coming up with these? These are not first-round
games,
man. These
in
are
this
like elite
bracket.
games.
These are.
Nothing is easy.
Nothing is easy.
Oh, my God.
So what's the point spread?
2.5. Auburn.
For who? Oh,
Auburn. I'll take that. I'll take 2.5. I'll take 2.5 in Texas all day long.
Okay. All right.
I'll take VY and 2.5 all day long, man.
All right. Back from the Riverwalk. Hit it.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Frank Frangi's been gone for too long. They're putting overtime back in his work detail. Get your butt in here and do handoff. Welcome back from San Antonio. What an unbelievable few days you just enjoyed.
I slept 42 minutes last night.
Was it worth it?
And drank way too much. It was absolutely freaking
All right,
worth it.
then. There
It
you
was
go.
just I'd never been. You been to San Antonio? You've probably been a bunch. I've never been. You been there, Leon?
Never been.
I've never been. It's
fun.
fantastic. You been?
No,
It's
Very
fantastic.
very walkable city.
But that river walk, it's fantastic.
It looks so much fun. It
Oh
really
my
does.
God, it's fantastic. So what a win for them. I mean, I didn't go into media capacity. I went into fan capacity. So I yelled, screamed, and drank.
That's what fans do.
And I was telling Steve Griffin, I was talking a minute ago, I don't drink like I once did. I don't yell very much. So when you start yelling and drinking, when you're not used to yelling and drinking,
right?
Where's you out, Matt? I'm not young like you, Matt. I'm
No
not,
good.
So there, but dude, it was I'll tell you this, and I'm going to talk about this on the air. It was the amount of Gators that were there. I mean, I've been to all these things. I mean, they were all there.
Well, based on the amount of money they spent to get there, the NIL, a bank account should be pretty good right now. They need to go to all those Gators and get a little bit from them.
Joe,
they were there in mass.
How full was the place?
It was full, 66,000.
Really?
For a basketball game. And it looked, it was full.
Wow.
And I'll bet you it was 30,000 Houston, because they're 2 hours away or 3 hours away. Probably 25 Florida, and then 10 people just went to the game.
Yeah.
Some Auburn, some Duke,
Right.
some locals.
25K Florida fans, huh?
Count all of that.
They were there.
At the river walk, it was a doggone stampede.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing how many. So good for Gator Nation. You know, Bianchi wrote a column that made a lot of sense about this. That Gators have been so lousy for so long that maybe that's part of it,
right?
Because the Gators haven't won in football and basketball, haven't won anything. But it was we'll talk about that today. Hacker's in here with me today. Poor Hacker, he's got to put up with me.
Overtime.
Yeah, Hacker now he ain't afraid to work. Okay, that guy. Okay, that guy's doing 4 hours now. Okay,
Yeah, he
don't
is.
be afraid. For God's sake, Matty, I mean, that guy step into
He'll
it. For him.
probably talk about the Gators.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know, man.
But we'll do that
I
today.
didn't like that first 10 minutes, man.
Well done. We'll talk about that. I'll kind of recap my trip there and being around the guys a little bit and seeing the way the fans respond to them and where I think this championship ranks. So we'll certainly do that a little bit. And then, of course, the Jaguars back on the field. I guess you guys would talk about that, I would think.
Yeah.
Jaguars back on a presser tomorrow where Liam's going to meet with the media and Trevor Lawrence is going to meet with the media. And, and so we'll get an idea. So all that coming up in just a bit.
All right, sounds good, Frank, with Hacker in there.
Scratchy voice, Joe. I'm scratchy voice. See, Joe.
Lozenge it up.
Joe Cowart can drink, party because he's the biggest party. He's the best partier in Jacksonville, and he's never hoarse. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
He's got those great pipes. I'm kind of jealous of that.
I go off the Leon Hottie Toddy recipe.
Is that that's what you didn't tell me that.
You got to work it in. All right, Frank, Hacker, JJ, they are coming up. We had a good time today, that's for sure. Next Searcy Sweet 16 game coming up tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Thanks to all of y'all for hanging out. You missed any of the show, all you got to do is go back and hit YouTube, search XL Primetime. Big Search, Matty, Joe C, and JJ.